Ever wondered what truly leads to happiness? What if the answer lies in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism? Yes, Stoicism, a philosophy that has been around since the 3rd century BC, yet continues to be relevant today. This philosophy encourages self-control and fortitude as ways to overcome destructive emotions. Stoicism teaches us that happiness isn't found in material wealth, power, or recognition, but in something far more profound. It proposes that true happiness lies in finding contentment in the present moment and living in accordance to nature. It's about aligning our desires with reality, accepting what we can't change, and focusing on what we can. In Stoicism, happiness isn't a fleeting emotion, but a state of being, a sense of fulfillment and tranquility that comes from within. It's about living a virtuous life, being at peace with oneself, and embracing the world as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. Now let's delve into the 10 Stoic lessons that can lead us towards a happier life. The first lesson from Stoicism is understanding the dichotomy of control. It's an essential concept, a golden rule, if you will. It's about recognizing what's within our power to change and what's not. It's about understanding that we have control over our actions, our reactions, our thoughts, and our perspective. But things like the actions of others, the weather, or the past, those are beyond our reach. Why is this important, you may ask? Well, by focusing on what we can control, we can impact our lives in meaningful ways. We can choose to respond rather than react, to act rather than be acted upon. And those things we can't control, they become less of a worry. We can let them go, freeing up mental and emotional energy. The result, less stress, less anxiety, and a greater sense of peace. By focusing on what we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. The second Stoic lesson is about acceptance. Imagine a river flowing, relentless, and unstoppable. You're a leaf on this river, swept along by its current. The river is life, with its twists and turns, its ebbs and flows. You can't change the river's course, but you can change how you navigate it. That's acceptance in a nutshell. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or defeat. It's not about giving up or surrendering to fate. Rather, it's about acknowledging the reality of things as they are without trying to change, resist, or deny them. It's about finding peace within the chaos, contentment amidst the turmoil. When you accept, you stop fighting against the current. You stop wasting energy on things you can't control. Instead, you float, you flow, you move along with life. You find peace, you find contentment. And in that peace and contentment, you find happiness. Acceptance, in essence, is the key to a calmer and happier existence. The third Stoic lesson teaches us to live in the present. Life is a collection of moments, and each moment is a precious gem that can never be relived. Our minds, however, are often elsewhere, lost in the shadowy corridors of the past or the uncharted territories of the future. Stoicism encourages us to pull our thoughts away from these distractions and focus on the here and now. Living in the present means being fully engaged in the current moment, allowing us to experience life in its purest form. It's about relishing the taste of your morning coffee, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, or simply enjoying the rhythm of your own breath. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we free ourselves from the chains of past regrets and future anxieties. This freedom breeds a sense of calm and contentment, paving the way for genuine happiness. Living in the present allows us to experience life and happiness fully. The fourth Stoic lesson emphasizes detachment from material possessions. Stoicism, in its wisdom, nudges us away from the precarious ledge of materialism. It encourages us to not tether our joy to the transient nature of possessions. The latest gadget, the swankiest automobile, or the grandest mansion, while enjoyable, should not be the cornerstones of our happiness. Why, you ask? Because material possessions are outside our control. They are fleeting, subject to change and loss. By placing our happiness on such unstable ground, we set ourselves up for disappointment and distress. Stoicism teaches us to seek happiness within, in the realm of our character and virtue, which are firmly within our control. This shift in focus leads to a more authentic and lasting happiness, one that isn't swayed by the ups and downs of fortune, but remains steady, grounded in the core of our being. True happiness, according to Stoics, is independent of material wealth. The fifth Stoic lesson is about practicing gratitude. Gratitude is the recognition of the good in our lives. It's about acknowledging the positive aspects, the blessings, and the love that we often overlook. It's about being thankful for what we have rather than yearning for what we don't. Many of us are so focused on chasing after what we want that we forget to appreciate what we already have. This constant pursuit can lead to a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus from what's missing in our lives to what's present. Gratitude fosters contentment and joy. It allows us to appreciate the beauty of the present moment and the richness of our lives just as they are. It reminds us that happiness doesn't come from acquiring more, but from appreciating more. Remember, gratitude isn't just about saying thank you, it's about feeling it deep within your heart. Gratitude opens the door to more happiness. The sixth Stoic lesson is about embracing challenges. Picture a mountain climber grappling with the sheer rock face, straining against gravity. Each foothold gained is a victory, each summit reached a triumph. Stoicism sees life's challenges in the same light. They are not burdens to be avoided, but opportunities for growth and improvement. Consider the satisfaction you feel when you've conquered a difficult task. The joy that floods in when you've overcome a hurdle that once seemed insurmountable. This is the taste of victory, the sweet reward that comes with embracing challenges. Stoicism teaches us that happiness is not just about the absence of struggle, but the presence of progress. It's about standing tall in the face of adversity, knowing that each challenge you conquer makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Challenges, in the Stoic view, are not obstacles, but stepping stones to happiness. The seventh Stoic lesson is about cultivating virtue. In the realm of Stoicism, the value of virtue stands above all else. It's not the fleeting moments of joy or the material possessions that define our happiness, but the virtues we cultivate and uphold. Imagine virtues as the inner compass guiding our actions and decisions, a beacon that illuminates the path towards authentic happiness. Living a virtuous life means embracing honesty, integrity, courage, and wisdom. It involves making choices that reflect these virtues even when they're challenging. It's about staying true to our principles, not compromising them for temporary pleasure or gain. This, in essence, is the path to inner peace and contentment. Why, you might ask? Because when we live virtuously, we're in harmony with our true selves. We're not swayed by external circumstances or societal pressures. We're content knowing we're living a life true to our values. Virtue, according to Stoicism, is the highest form of happiness. The eighth Stoic lesson is about practicing forgiveness. Stoicism teaches us that harboring resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It's a self-inflicted wound that hinders our happiness. Forgiveness in the Stoic context is not about forgetting or condoning the wrongs done to us. It's about understanding that everyone is dealing with their struggles, and their actions are often a reflection of their own turmoil. By forgiving, we choose to release ourselves from the chains of bitterness and resentment. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack up a hill. That's what holding on to anger feels like. Forgiving is like setting down that weight. Suddenly, the journey becomes much easier, doesn't it? Remember, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's an act of self-love that creates space for peace and happiness. So let go of the anger, forgive, and watch as your life fills with joy. Forgiveness, in essence, sets us free and opens the door to happiness. The ninth Stoic lesson teaches us to be mindful. Mindfulness, in the Stoic sense, is the practice of complete mental presence. It's about fully engaging with the here and now, not being distracted by past regrets or future anxieties. Stoics believe that by being mindful, we can truly appreciate the present moment. This appreciation allows us to find joy in the simplest things: a warm cup of tea, a conversation with a friend, the feeling of the sun on our skin. These small moments of happiness, when noticed and cherished, contribute to a larger sense of contentment and peace. Being mindful also helps us respond to life's challenges with grace and composure. Rather than reacting impulsively, we can make considered choices that align with our values and goals. And by doing so, we retain control over our happiness, regardless of external circumstances. So practice mindfulness, notice, appreciate, and savor every moment. Mindfulness, according to Stoicism, is the key to true happiness. The final Stoic lesson is about the power of perspective. Our perspective is the lens through which we view the world, coloring our experiences and shaping our reality. It's like having a camera. You can zoom in on the negativity, or you can zoom out and see the bigger picture, full of opportunities and positivity. When we shift our focus from what's going wrong to what's going right, we begin to see the beauty in everyday life. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or difficulties, but instead choosing to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Think about the last time you faced a setback. Was it a roadblock or a stepping stone, a failure or a lesson? It's all about how you perceive it. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. It fosters positivity, resilience, and ultimately happiness. So remember, the world doesn't shape our happiness, we do. In the end, our perspective shapes our reality and our happiness.